Hello and welcome to my channel. In today's video we're going to be doing a roundup of all of the books that I have read this month in the month of October.
Come get close like you own name. Read your aura, you want more of all this.
If you like these videos, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Comment down below what books that you've read this month, what books you would recommend for me. That would be fantastic. So just a little bit of context for you guys if you are new to this channel and have never seen me before. Hi, my name is Tanwen. I am a TikTok social media book lover extraordinaire. I just love sharing books across social media, recommendations for you guys. I also have dyslexia, so if you also have dyslexia, these are the books that I'm able to read. So far this year I have read 87 books, which is kind of impressive to say. I've been working full time, and also I have graduated this year from university. But yeah, these are the books I really like. I am majority a romance reader, but for some reason this month has been my fantasy month, so let me explain. I started off with Fourth Wing, this by Rebecca Yarros. This Infinity, like, I resonate with Violet so much. She has a chronic illness that affects her joints. I also am getting diagnosed on something that affects my joints, so every day is literally I'm in pain with my joints, and so is Violet. So I related on such a level with the character already. She is supposed to be a scribe, but then gets forced last minute into the squad, basically, of dragons. So they have to fight and basically defend their country, kind of thing. It's kind of difficult to explain what it is. Like, they have a realm, I guess it's a realm. So they have to protect it. They have dragons, they bond with dragons. If you don't bond with a dragon by the end of the year, you get forced to redo that year. And it is very dangerous, and people die. Literally, people kill each other all the time. Now, she's as a weak one because of her illness, and she powers through it. She is so inspiring, which is, I think, the reason why I love this. Her and her main character, Aiden, I'm going to say his name is Aiden. I don't know if that is correct or not, but he hates her. Then there's these group of rebels, and, well, before then, and then the kids have to go to the riding, like, quadrant. And yeah, so this is Fourth Wing in a nutshell. There is grumpy dragons, grumpy men. This is a fantasy book for romance readers. So if you're a romance reader wanting to get into fantasy, this is the book. Because I've never been that much into fantasy. Like, I've read Legendborn, I've read Shadowhunters when I was growing up, but never was like into full-blown fantasy. I've read Akatar, but that's pretty simple to follow along. This has got me into like full-blown fantasy. It is brilliant. So yeah, if you're wanting to get into fantasy, start with Fourth Wing if you're a majority a romance reader, because it is such an easy story to follow, so enticing. Like, you're literally reading it and you're like, oh my god, I need to know more, I need to know more. So this one is the perfect one for you. Like, I love Fourth Wing that much. I got a jellycat dragon, and it's called Violence. So if you read the book, you know. But yeah, and the second one is coming out. It ends on such a cliffhanger that you're like, I need my hands on the second one. And the second one is coming out in literally a week, guys. Iron Flame is coming out in a week. This is actually the trade paperback one. Because of my joint issues, I struggle to hold hardback, so I got the trade paperback from Ireland, which is really easy to do. Just, there's a website for an Irish bookstore that you can actually buy trade paperbacks for pretty decent price. This cost me 13 quid. Like, that's not bad at all to say it's a massive book when the hardback was about 20, so, you know. Then, whilst I was reading that, I was listening to the audiobook of Book Lovers, because I got this given to me in a book box from Waterstones because I worked for them. I've put in my resignation for Waterstones, so technically I'm working for them until mid-November. Anyway, and they gave me a box of books, so I got this one. This is the third time it's been in my house, and I was like, right, okay, I'm gonna have to read it. So I audiobooked it because I was like, I'm not actually going to read it, so I'm just going to audiobook it. Audiobooking Emily Henry's books, actually, I think is the way I'm going to read her books in the future, because I think if I read this, I wouldn't have enjoyed it, but because I audiobooked it, it's really cute. So it's about this girl, and she is called Nora. She is in the literary agent world in New York, and she is like this shark. She takes no time, she takes care of everyone else but not herself. Like literally will not look after herself, will look after everyone else. And so she is, well, her sister kind of forces her to go to this small town that is in one of the authors that she reads and literary for, like edits for, I guess, world. She goes there, her enemy is there, and she's like, what the hell's going on? And they basically, her and her sister create this, whilst her sister is also pregnant, by the way, creates a world that is like a small town, like the small town romance I read, but they've created it in real life. And it's the cutest thing ever. It's really cute. It kind of, you show yourself, like, if you're a bit like Nora, you will see yourself in her. Like, I saw parts of myself in her and I was like, okay, that makes sense. That really makes sense. So, yeah. The book is slightly destroyed. It's been in my, like, conservatory and I think it's destroyed it because this has not even been read, and look at the disgusting condition of it. So I think I need to take all the books that were in there out of there. Now it's winter, but yeah. It's a decent book. I gave it 4 stars. It's a 4-star read. Not my favourite, but audiobook in it was beautiful. I get my audiobooks from Audible. I read this one. I listened to it on Libby, which is like a library kind of website. And you can also get them on Scribe. And the next book I read was another fantasy book. As you could tell, as I told you, I was in my fantasy era. And this is Fall, A Rune and Wrath by Jennifer L. Armatros. This is the first one I've ever read by her. And like, this is a hardback and somehow I could read it. So maybe hardbacks aren't that bad, but I still prefer paperbacks. I think it's because I don't have a lot of room that hardbacks are a bit annoying. But this one is really good. Can I tell you what it's about? Absolutely not. Did I enjoy it? Yes, I think I rated it about 4 stars. I really enjoyed the story. It was enticing and easy to follow, which for me, as a new into fantasy, if it's not easy to follow, my brain switched off. I'm out of the picture. I am not reading any more of that. And this was actually really, really easy to read. It was really easy to follow. It was like the perfect, if you're trying to get into fantasy book, because you can just easily just follow it. Now, can I tell you what it's about? Absolutely not. Did the plot make any sense? No. Was the spice? Yes. She knows how to do spice. She knows how to do spice. Like, that man can do anything he wants to me. Absolutely anything. And I will allow it to happen. So, that says a lot. But this book was just chef's kiss, brilliant. I probably won't carry on the series though. It's one of those I was like, the cliffhanger to make it go on to the next one was a cliffhanger, but I was like, I was like, oh my god, I need the next one. Like I was in Fourth Wing. I was like, okay. So when the next one comes out, will I read it? Maybe I might get it, but I won't run to get it, if you know what I mean. So it was just like a meh one. Like I said, I cannot explain this. There is better, if you go into TikTok, type in this, and you will find better people who can tell you about it than myself. Because I think about it now and I still have no clue whatsoever what that book was about. But I just remember the feeling of enjoying it. But I cannot tell you 1 second what that book was about. So, sorry. The next book that I tried to read was There Are No Devils. I was in the middle of reading this whilst also reading this. And I put it down. And I was like, oh yeah, I'll pick it back up. And kept picking it up and then just literally doing this and be like, nah. And picking up other books. So I'm currently like 64 pages in. And I'm like, no. I'm not in the mood. I cannot get into this. I loved the first one. This is like it being published, like properly published. And I can't get into it. I cannot get into it 1 second. I really can't. This is the second one in the Sinners duet series by Sophie Lark. This is There Is No Devils. It's a serial killer romance. I loved the first one because serial killer art, romance. I'm an art student. Well, I was an art student. And this one, it's not gripping me. Sophie Lark usually grips me like this. And I'm like attached. And I'm like, cannot let go, cannot stop reading. Like not the Kingmaker series, the Birthright series, the Brutal Birthright series, I can pick it up and I know for a fact I'm going to read that in a day. I can pick it up and I know what I'm expecting, I know what I'm going to get, and I'm going to get beautifulness, beautiful maffiness. This is not it. I've DNF'd it. There is still this in book in case I want to carry it on, but right now she's getting shoved to the, like, she's on a pile and not getting touched. Not getting touched once. So that says a lot to you guys. And the next book I read was First Down by Grace Riley. Grace Riley knows how to do sports romance and sports romance spice. She's currently, her other 3 books are currently let there. But this is the first one I started with. I'm going to do a video where I go and read ice hockey romance for you guys, so I'll be looking out for that one because Grace Riley's going to be in it. I have so many good ice hockey recommendations for you guys and I cannot wait to read them. But I'm currently waiting on 3 books to arrive before I can even start that series. Well, the video. Anywho, this is a football romance between James and Bex. Bex is a student that's trying to get really good grades. James has just arrived from a different one because he had to move due to circumstances that we do learn about later in the book. And he is basically getting really bad grade in English and asks Bex for help, and she's like, nah. It's kind of like similar to the plotline of The Deal, but 10 times better. This is so much better than The Deal in my eyes. But The Deal is ice hockey, so we will always have that spark for me, and this is football. But it's really good. Grace Riley, though, in the beginning says that, like, she doesn't know a lot about sports, so if things are wrong in it. But to be honest, I didn't care. I really enjoyed this. I enjoyed the way that James built Bex up so much, and I loved it. Didn't like her ex. Her ex is a bit of a stalker. Just a little bit. But it starts off with a Halloween party, so maybe it's the perfect time to read it, because it's just been Halloween. And I'm currently filming this. This is Halloween night. But the first line is, I can't believe that out of everyone I could have kissed, I chose McKee's new quarterback. But the spice in this is beautiful. 10/10. Absolutely freaking fantastic. It's under 300 pages. Like, what more could you want from a book? Like, under 300 pages, perfect spice. Nothing more needs to be said. Then a book I've read for you guys on a reading vlog that should be up shortly is Hopeless by Elsie Silver. I got given this from the publishers, then I got it signed, guys. Freaking signed by Elsie Silver herself. Beautiful. So yeah, I read this. This is fantastic. 4.75 out of 5. The whole of the series is 5 out of 5. This is the last book in it. I'm so sad they ended. But Bailey and Boo, I'm sorry, Bailey and Boo. Fake engagement. Everyone hates Bailey, but for no reason other than the fact her brothers are dicks. That's literally it. Boo is like, I'm moping. I've had an accident whilst I was in the army. Well, it's more than an accident. Yeah, do you remember when he got lost in Powerless? Yeah. We learn about that. We learn about what happens. We learn about special ops. We learn about Boo showing himself for himself, not being the goofy guy. Because underneath, there's a sensitive guy. There is a sensitive guy underneath. And Elsie Silver just does her works with the spice. So. Also, there's a little hint in it, but I'm not going to spoil anything because everything you need to know is in the reading vlog. So go to the reading vlog. And the book I'm currently reading, which I'm also going to do a reading vlog for you guys, is Throne of Glass. This is the old one, and I'm currently on chapter 35. The moment I finish this video, I'm going to get back to reading straight away once I put all the books away, because currently the bed is a mess with books. Anywho, yeah. Reading Throne of Glass, enjoying it, but it's getting to the point where it's just getting repetitive and I'm getting bored, so my brain is like switched off. I literally read all of this in 2 days, and now I am nearly at the end. I'm 140 pages from the end and I'm getting bored. I'm like, dude, hurry up, come on. So I'm going to skim read, I think, until I get to exciting bits, and then once I've got to exciting bits, then I can just zoom through it. The plan is to finish it today so that when I go to my sister's I can bring with me a manga, the second Throne of Glass, and another book in case I'm not interested in that, because I'm babysitting my niece and nephew. I know in an evening, if my sister and her fiance want to show on the TV, I will happily sit there and just read, and that's what I just want to do. But I thought if I bring a manga with me, then if anyone's distracting me, it's easy to follow. Same with bringing another easy to follow book rather than a fantasy. So she'll probably think I'm psychopath bringing 3 books with me when I come to see her, but you know, it's fine, you know, it's completely fine. But yeah, I'm reading this currently, and you will see in my reading vlog for the entire, because I'm doing it for the entire series, so it might take me a while for this video to be out, but you'll see it in November's reading vlog, well, November's wrap up, what I actually think to it. This month though, in November, is not going to have a TBR. There is not going to be a TBR at all, because of the fact that, one, I'm currently reading the Throne of Glass series, so however far I get in that. 2, I might want to read books in between Throne of Glass, and 3, don't know. I've currently ordered another fantasy book that everyone keeps raving on about. I've got a manga on the way because somebody yesterday in work, not yesterday, was it Sunday? No, Sunday in work was like, you need to read this series, so I got the first one. So yeah, that's happened. Did I mean for that to happen? No, but that has happened. So it's gonna be thrown up in the air what's gonna happen. Hopefully I can read more this month though, because I've only read 5 books and I'm in the middle of one. So we'll see what happens, but I hope you did this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Comment down below, like I said at the beginning, what books that you read this month, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this video because I really, really did. And I enjoyed this month of reading. It's been a nice reading month where I've read other things, and I'm really excited for the fact that I'm actually finally into fantasy books. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time.
Taking you in this moment, come get close like you own name. Read your aura, you want more of all this love, you'll be your name.